Hello everyone, welcome to Next Step Solutions. Today we're going to be diving into the command prompt in Windows, sometimes referred to as command shell. The command prompt is a useful tool for automating tasks in Windows, performing administrative functions, and troubleshooting Windows and network related issues. There are several ways to open up the command prompt. The easiest way being to search it in the search bar, either typing in CMD or command prompt. Alternatively, if you're having issues with your search, you can right-click on the Windows icon in the bottom left corner and click Run and type in CMD and then Enter. Also, the file path for the cmd.exe is going to be in your C Windows System 32 folder, and you should be able to navigate to that folder and find it located in there as well. Now, this is the point in the video where I want to say this is going to be very beginner-based command prompt commands for network troubleshooting. You can run batch scripts. You can use it for automating tasks, doing administrative functions with those automations. But to be fair, nowadays in 2024, people would probably be using PowerShell or more advanced scripting languages. To start off, let's do something a bit fun and change the color of our text in command prompt. This can be done by typing in the word color. If you do not know what the number code is for the color you're looking for, you can do a / followed by a question mark, and it'll give you a nice help screen letting you know what each value's color is respectively. Now, if you're completely new to command prompt, when you first open it up, you can type in help to get a list of all of the available commands and a short description of what each command does. Now, the main commands that I'd like to show you in this video are going to be the ping command, traceroute command, the ipconfig command, and then also the nslookup command. Now, to kick things off, let's go ahead and start with the ipconfig command. Now, if we run that command by itself, we get a very brief description of our network adapters. In this case, I am on a virtual machine, so we don't have a lot going on here. We have our IPv4 address, which is the logical address of this VM or this machine. We have our subnet mask, which divides our networks up into multiple subnets. And then we also have our gateway, which for all intensive purposes in this video, we'll just say is our router. Now, let's close that and let's add a little bit more to that command by adding a parameter to it. So if you don't know the parameters of any command, you can go ahead and type out that command and then do a / question mark. And it will give you a list of all of the parameters that you can set to your command. But in this case, I am just going to do the all / all, so ipconfig / all. And as you can see, we have a bit more information here. We still have our IPv4 address, our subnet mask, and our default gateway, but we also have our DNS servers. So this is good to know if you're inside of a corporate environment or having issues with name resolution. This is a quick way to see where your DNS servers are, or if you even have DNS servers set up, or if you're reaching them. In this case also, we have our DHCP server, but I have this machine set up statically, so you don't see an address here. It just says no. If I had DHCP enabled and I had a DHCP server, you would see that address here as well. Next, we have our ping command. Now, ping is useful when you're trying to confirm if you can reach another device on the network. So all a ping is a series of ICMP requests. And what it does is it sends those requests out to the device, and if the device is able to reply, it's going to send a reply back to your machine, and you'll see that output on your machine. So in this case, let's go ahead and we'll ping, let's ping our router first, right? So let's see if we can even get to the internet. So we're able to ping our router. Now that we've pinged our router, let's go ahead and try to ping something outside of our network. In this case, I know Google's DNS servers, one of them is 8.8.8, so let's go ahead and see if we can reach that. And it looks like those came back as valid, which means for all intensive purposes, we are getting out to the internet right now. I just want to show you what it would look like if you're getting failed ping requests. So let's go ahead and just ping something that I know won't respond. And as you can see, we're getting these request timed out responses. And essentially what that means is it sent that ping command out and it never found the device that it was looking for to send a reply back. And there is a time to live for these ping requests, and that time to live was obviously reached, so it just responded back with a timeout. Alright guys, the next command on the list is going to be the traceroute command. So traceroute is going to be a useful network command line utility, good for troubleshooting routing issues on your network or even outside of your network. So essentially what traceroute is going to do is it's going to send a packet across several routers, which it'll identify as hops, and you can specify the number of hops that you would like it to take until it gets to its destination address. And it gives you the IP address of each one of those hops as it traverses them, and you get to see the latency on them as well. So let's go ahead and traceroute to Google's DNS server. And when we look here, we can see our latency. We can see the internal address of our home router. So as we can see, it took 15 hops to get to Google's DNS. And we have a little bit of information on each one of the hops between here and there. And then of course, as mentioned before, the maximum hops by default is going to be 30. So if, let's say, it would have taken 31 hops to get to the DNS server, then we would have only seen up to hop 30, and we would not have seen 31. All right, and the final command that we're going to take a look at today is going to be the nslookup command. And essentially what the nslookup command does is it resolves domain names or host names into IP addresses. This can be useful if you're having DNS issues. So what it does is it takes a look at your local DNS server, and if that local DNS server is unable to resolve the IP address of a specific domain name, then it looks towards other name servers until it's able to resolve that address. So let's go ahead and look up youtube.com. And as we can see here, it looks like the Google DNS server was able to give us the answer that we were looking for. And these non-authoritative answers just means that it had to reach outside of our local DNS to retrieve these answers or these IP addresses. We have some IPv4 addresses, and then we also have some IPv6 addresses. Like any of the commands that I showed you here today, there are parameters that you can set with the nslookup command to get very specific query information depending on what you're trying to do, but those won't be discussed in this video as this is just a brief overview of each command. As always, guys, thank you for joining me here at Next Step Solutions. I love bringing content to a community interested in it, so if you enjoyed these videos, please like and subscribe so that way that you don't miss any new videos coming up. Hopefully we will have this website done soon, and we'll have something for you guys to also check out in the future. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day, guys.